the last distress beacon of the Zelons pierced the void, a final, desperate scream from a civilization on the brink. Theirs was a world of art, philosophy, and peace, now facing an unnamed, unstoppable horror devouring their star system. Their plea echoed through hyperlanes, reaching the gilded thrones of ancient galactic empires and the crystalline data hubs of synthetic consciousnesses. But from the powerful, the wise, and the ancient, there came only silence. To interfere was to risk contagion, to invite the same darkness to their own doorstep. The Xylan tragedy, it was decided, would be theirs alone. But the universe is vast, and signals travel in unexpected ways. The beacon, faint and degraded, found its way to a place most established powers had long forgotten. A cluster of garden worlds and fortified asteroid bases known only by a designation. Sector 7, the home of humanity. To the galaxy, they were an anomaly. Deathworlders, a young, aggressive species, from a planet of crushing gravity, lethal predators, and extreme weather. A species that had clawed its way to the stars not through gentle contemplation, but through conflict and sheer, stubborn resilience. On the bridge of the colony flagship, the indomitable Will, Admiral Eva Rostova, listened to the translated Xylan plea. Her advisors were divided. The risk was immense, the enemy unknown, but the message contained something that resonated with the human spirit, a plea for help from a people who could not help themselves. Rostova looked at the star charts, at the vast, uncaring darkness between them and the Xylans. "They're asking for help," she said, her voice cutting through the debate, "and we're the only ones listening. Spin up the drives. All ships, prepare for immediate departure. We're going to war." The journey was a frantic, calculated dash across uncharted space. The human fleet was not the largest in the galaxy, nor the most elegant. Their ships were brutalist blocks of armor and engines, scarred from past conflicts, designed for one purpose: survival. When they finally tore through spacetime into the Xylan system, the sight was breathtakingly grim. A swarm of biomechanical nightmares, a living, writhing fleet of darkness, was systematically dismantling the last of the Xylan defenses. The Xylans, watching the human ships appear, felt a new wave of terror. These vessels were monstrous, warlike, so unlike their own graceful, organic ships. They looked like conquerors, like a new form of apocalypse. But then, the human ships opened fire. Not on the Xylans, but on the encroaching swarm. Beams of pure energy, kinetic slugs traveling at a fraction of light speed, and swarms of advanced drone fighters slammed into the enemy. The human fleet wasn't fighting a battle. It was performing an extermination. Where the Xylans had tried to reason, the humans used overwhelming force. Where the Xylans had deployed intricate energy shields, the humans used brute force armor and countermeasures that screamed defiance. On the Xylan homeworld, they watched in stunned awe as the Deathworlders met the horror head-on. Fighting with a ferocity they couldn't comprehend, the space above their planet became a canvas of explosions, a symphony of destruction orchestrated by the newcomers. The human marines, clad in powered armor, even boarded the larger enemy vessels, cleansing them from the inside with fire and fury. Slowly, impossibly, the tide turned. The swarm, which had never known defeat, hesitated. It faltered, and then, it broke. The remaining creatures fled back into the void from whence they came, relentlessly pursued by human long-range destroyers until not a single one remained. Silence, for the first time in months, returned to the Xylan system. The human fleet, battered but victorious, hung in orbit like grim-faced sentinels. A communication channel opened. The Xylan leader, their voice trembling not with fear, but with awe and overwhelming gratitude, appeared on the indomitable Will's main screen. You came, they managed. Why? No one else would. Admiral Rostova stood firm, her face a mask of tired resolve. "Because you asked," she replied simply, "and because it was the right thing to do. We may be Deathworlders, but that means we know a thing or two about fighting monsters." In the aftermath, a new bond was forged, not of fear, but of mutual respect. The elegant, philosophical Xylans, and the rugged, pragmatic humans. Two complete opposites, now united by a shared battle against the darkness. The galaxy, which had turned its back, would soon learn that a new power had truly arrived on the stage and that, in the darkest of nights, sometimes the most hope can be found in the most unexpected of saviors. The age of humanity had begun.